Hello, Julia, and hello to our viewers today. So great to be with you and share with you some of the world's best kept secrets and opportunities that may be available for you. And today we have Julia with us. Julia, will you tell us a little bit about you?
Thank you, Sonia. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. And I'm going to talk more about my work and what I've been through to get me here, rather than, super other things on the outside that are part of me also. And I'll just start with, I live in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I'm married for 14 years. Life is good. And many years ago, my brother was incarcerated. And at that time, I didn't really have anybody to talk to. There was a lot of shame and stigma. And fast forwarding to 9 years ago, my brother actually passed away in prison from hepatitis C. And it gave me an opportunity to look back on how I was living and how I went through it alone. And I didn't want anybody to go through it alone. So I started Prison, the Hidden Sentence, because when somebody's incarcerated, they're serving a sentence, but you're also serving a sentence on the outside. And I wanted people to have the information that I didn't have when he was incarcerated. So I started a blog called Prison, the Hidden Sentence, which turned into a podcast where people can tell their stories and also share information about what it's like having somebody that's incarcerated, things that they've learned that can help other people, and also speaking with professionals on information that they can share to help people. Doing the podcast was really good, getting the word out, but I wanted to do more. So I wrote a book by the same name, Prison, the Hidden Sentence, that tells a little bit about my story, other people's stories. But what it does, it's almost like a primer, because it provides information at the end of each chapter of what you need to do, or information that you need when you're going through the different phases of the arrest, of going to court, of visiting somebody that's incarcerated, and most importantly is taking care of you, because that's what's most important. And that brings us to the nonprofit Prison Families Alliance that I had been involved with, but not really going to all the meetings, but it really helped me. And after my brother passed, I saw how much it did help me. And when the opportunity came up to become president, I took that on about 3 years ago. And Prison Families Alliance provides support. It's nationwide and it's online support. So no matter where you are, you can talk to other people that are going through the same things. So between Prison, the Hidden Sentence, Prison Families Alliance, and my advocacy in the community, I feel like I'm really making a difference. And I think we'll talk about how you've helped me so much, Sonya, in moving forward in this and living my mission.
Yes, beautiful. So let's talk into that. So how we met and what inspired you to work forward with me from there.
Yeah, it was several years ago. It was at CEO Space, and it was my first opportunity to talk about Prison, the Hidden Sentence, to talk about what I was doing. Because don't forget, for all those years, I was living the hidden sentence. I was living in shame. And even after my brother passed, it was like when I started telling people that my brother had passed, I started receiving compassion. And I realized that if I had been speaking about it, if I was able to speak about it, if people were able to speak about it, they could receive the compassion that they needed to help them get through it and the information. And so it was the first time that I was going to speak to this large audience of hundreds of people. And I hadn't done that before. And it wasn't just the speaking, it was the vulnerability. It was the unpeeling the onion, the putting myself out there and telling them who I was. And I was a wreck. And I met with you. And I think we just spent like 10 minutes. And you spoke to me, you took me through a process. And when I got out there, I mean, I'm still feeling it, that feeling of power and strength, that when I got up there and I started speaking to those people about Prison, the Hidden Sentence, it was amazing, the power and the words that came out. And then several years later, you told me about this workshop that you were putting together. And I just jumped on because I was at a place where I knew I wanted to move forward. I knew that there was so much work to do, but I wasn't really sure how. And working with you in the mastery program, just that past year that we did that, we finished
Mhm.
in April. So much has happened. So much has blossomed because I could see it and I could believe in it. And I knew from the inside out that this is what I was meant to do. So
Yeah,
that was
be-
so helpful.
beautiful. So yeah, so you joined into Adventure to Your Self Mastery, which is the year-long program, and there's a community of soulful people, and there's been some real magical things that have happened in that community too. Will you share your experience with Brandy that came through there? That grace of God, I guess we could say, gave us that opportunity.
Yeah, this was a really safe and compassionate forum where I could be me and I could talk about some of my concerns, some of my struggles, but also my accomplishments and things that had happened. And when I started talking about my story, about my brother and what I was doing, I found out that there was somebody else in the group that had a loved one that was incarcerated. And she had something inside her that she wanted to help other people. She wanted to get the word out and she wanted to advocate not only for her son, but also for other people. And we have 8 facilitators right now for online support meetings. And Brandy said she wanted to do one for mental illness because there's a lot of people that are incarcerated that have a mental illness. And when somebody has somebody inside, they really don't know what to do, or they might not have anybody to talk to because it's a different situation. When somebody's incarcerated with a mental illness, how do you advocate for them? How do you help them? It's not like when they're on the outside and you could take them to the doctor, and try different things with them. They're a ward of the state or whatever facility that they're in. So now she facilitates a group. She has a following where people can come to her meeting, to her support meeting, and get information and share. And that's one of the things about taking care of yourself. It's being able to talk about it, because if you keep things inside, it's good. You're going to get sick. It just eats away at you. So having her group and having that connection with her has been wonderful. And she's doing wonderful work.
Yes, and that was just that's not even something that was intended when you joined the group, she joined the group, or when I even started it, when I started that class. It's just the magic of who comes together and the synchronicities that we have and opportunities open up, right? This is living in a soulful world. And that's really what we're learning to do in Adventure to Your Self Mastery, is to be more in our soul aligned self. And Julia, speak into the class to class structure and how that class to class structure works. How does this get done? Like, I know we're not necessarily, it's nobody is forced sharing, and I'm not telling you how to think into your soul. This is, so speak a little bit into the structure and how you experience the class.
I think one of the things that we did was learning our soul languages. And it's really interesting because when you first learn, well, for me, when I first learned, I was like, okay, 2 of the 3 make sense. And the third one didn't really make sense to me. And then as I started thinking about it, living into it, I realized that, wow, it did make a lot of sense. And it did help me get through a lot of things. So my soul languages really helped, and learning other people's soul languages, because it helped in the way that you connected with them and communicated with them. And I think in the class in the beginning, we set our intentions. And, when you first do that, it's like, yes, this is what I want to do. This is my intention. This is what's going to happen. And then you're like, wow, that's a big intention. And as you go through each week, what's happened each week, what your intention is, and you find that you're living your intention. It wasn't even the whole year that it took for me to learn, right? For me to meet my intention. It was like, halfway through. And then I created another intention that was even bigger. So knowing what your intention is, speaking about it with other people, and living it and being able to share, this is a block. Why is that happening? And going into your soul languages to see which one you can pull out or which one you can talk to help you get through it. But also sharing that, oh, well, this happened. And you don't realize, sometimes you'll say, oh, well, this happened to me. And then you look back and it's like, oh, well, that's something that we spoke about, or something that I said that I wanted a couple of weeks ago. And here it is. So it's also being cognizant of what's happening. And it gives you that ability to really see the growth and the structure as you go through the class.
Yeah, beautiful. And then we do the intentions, and then we also do the transmissions, where we just connect in, transmission being similar to meditation, and deeper, and it's where we receive those clear consciousness at the soul level, so our soul gets to come in and restructure our system, and then we do a little share if we choose to or not, and that's how our structure works, class to class. And then, Julia, we also do soul coaching, the one-on-ones together. We speak into your experience there.
Yeah, I'd have to say the one-on-one sessions have helped me immensely, because that's where I can come to you and say, okay, this is something that's happening. So we can go more in depth than we can in the class, because, you don't want to take over the whole class. I just want to go back to the transmissions and come back to this. But during the transmissions too, when you're in that peace and that quiet and going through the transmission, sometimes answers come up. So the transmissions to me have been really, really beneficial. And then the one-on-one coaching with you, it's like, Sonya, I want to do this, right? I'm not really sure how to start or where to go. When we go inside and you're not giving me the answers, I'm giving me the answers, right? The answers are coming to me, but you're walking me through it, asking the right questions, and it's happening. I mean, like right now, I wanted to do more speaking, right? To get the word out, to raise awareness about the effects of incarceration. And just recently, I've spoken at 2 conferences, and I have 2 speaker engagements with local organizations. And I mean, it's just one organization I've been wanting to speak at, and they just called me the other day and said they had a cancellation and could I come and speak? And I was like, of course I can. It's just all that, and the people that are coming, the programs that I've wanted to put together, the people that are showing up once we talk and say, okay, well, this is a program I really like to do. I don't really know how to put this together. And then we have somebody pop up, and then we have interns coming in. So now there's people out there that are actually putting the programs in place that I've envisioned, that we've spoken about. And I just look forward to our meetings, because that really helps me get the answers. And like I said, the answers are from me. It's not like you're sitting there saying, Julie, you should do this or that or whatever. It's not at all. It's putting it out there, working together, going deep inside, and then the answers coming. And then it might not be the next day. It will actually,
Or it is.
yeah. I was, there was a person that I was talking to Sonya about, and I wanted to make some change. And after we finished our call, I had another meeting with somebody, and the change was happening. The opportunity arose. So it's not always that quick, but that was pretty amazing that the change happened so fast.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yes, it's so magic to see how easy life really can be when we go in at this deep level. And I love that. The way you're sharing there is so perfect. It's you, I guide you deeper into you. We ask the questions, your soul is answering, I'm answering, and it's that collaboration, that soul level. And you obviously are choosing you, and you are going to do you all along. So it's best when you get your own guidance from your own soul. And it's so awesome to see you, Julia, out there living that intention realized, and just the magic of life keeps pouring through and showing up, and keep opening, right? Because now a lot is happening, a lot is opening along that way. And now it's going to be continue to allow yourself to open, to continue to receive even more of the life that you love, even more of the creation that you'd like to bring here into a physical form, into the world, to support everyone. So thank you, Julia, for bringing you into the world. And will you share with our audience that further soul expression of you? And if people want to jump on board with you, I know they can get in touch with you by prisonthehidden-sentence.com that you have above. And yeah, beautiful. And any other parting words you would have, ways they could work with you to get in touch, support, or be part of your group?
Yep, you can email prisonthehidden-sentence.com. The name of the nonprofit support group that offers peer support is prisonfamiliesalliance.org. So any of those places, we're on Twitter and Facebook at Hidden Sentence. And there's also a Facebook for PFA. It's PFA NV, and that's another Facebook site where people can put their questions in and talk to each other and support each other. So there's a lot of resources out there. The prisonfamiliesalliance.org website has a lot of information. It has the calendar on there. So if you just go to the calendar section, you'll see all of the meetings that we're having. And I just wanted to also talk about the group and all the people that I've met. I've had the opportunity to travel. And when we're doing this, I really felt like I knew everybody. The meetings were on Zoom, but I really felt like I knew everybody. And then I was traveling and I actually got to meet most of the people that were in our group. And it was just like we met, but like we felt like we knew each other for years. And just having that in-person meeting and being able to hug them and talk to them and see where they live, it was just such a wonderful opportunity. And I really thank you for that, for bringing all those people into my life, because they're all doing wonderful things, and seeing their growth and them living their intentions is really motivating. You know, life, it doesn't mean that things aren't going to happen, right? Things are going to come up. But when you have the vision, it's up to you how you're going to address it. So things will still happen. It's not like everything is rosy. But when you're on your path and you're going the right way, like you know what you're doing, things just show up. And you need to go forward. You need to step in, even if you're afraid, even if you've never done it before, because that's what I've been doing. Just to reiterate, it doesn't mean that I haven't had blocks or things happen, but I can deal with it so much better. So continuing this work, it's lifelong. It's never going to stop.
Yeah. And it's so beautiful to travel with a soulful community that really connects at that deeper level. You know, like you had said, most of these people you'd only seen in class over Zoom. And I say Julia is the ambassador because she is the one who has gone and physically met with so many in our community. And thank you, Julia, for bringing you into the world and allowing that soul expression to change, transform so many lives, and continuing to be you and welcoming into our audience. You know, come play with us, come cry with us if that's what it is. We're here, and we're here to live in this soul formed world. And Julia, it's been an honor interviewing you today, and I look forward to our communities connecting and growing and becoming more of this soul-filled world. And lots of love and gratitude. Any parting words for you? Do you feel complete?
I was just going to say, it's just beautiful. We're raising consciousness in the world. We're raising consciousness for ourselves. We're supporting each other. We're here for each other. And it's just beautiful. And I want to thank you for what you do.
Thank you. Thank you to all. And we look forward to connecting with you. Bye for now.